Welcome to the channel, friends. Today we will learn the shocking truth about the crash of the twin-engine 1954-56 Greyhound Scenicruiser bus. When you think of iconic American buses, the Greyhound Scenicruiser immediately comes to mind, a towering double-decker beauty that symbolized post-war freedom and luxury travel. But behind its shiny chrome and panoramic windows lurked a mechanical nightmare that almost destroyed Greyhound's reputation. Let's reveal the shocking truth about the crash of the twin-engine 1954-56 Scenicruiser bus. Before watching, support the channel by subscribing and liking, share with friends to discuss cars together, and don't forget to click the bell so you don't miss the next episodes. Thank you. Fact 1. The Scenicruiser was an engineering marvel and a corporate gamble. When Greyhound approached General Motors to build the Scenicruiser, they wanted something revolutionary, a bus that would outshine the competition and offer passengers a luxurious cross-country travel experience. The result was the GM PD 4501 Scenicruiser, introduced in 1954. Its design was striking, a two-level body with panoramic windows on the upper deck, allowing passengers to see the country like never before. It was modern, spacious, and symbolized post-war American confidence. But behind the scenes, Greyhound pushed GM to fast-track the Scenicruiser's development, leading to some critical decisions that would come back to haunt both companies. The bus was ambitious, but perhaps a little too ambitious for the technology available at the time.
Fact 2. The twin-engine design was its biggest flaw. One of the most surprising and problematic features of the early Scenicruiser was its twin-engine setup. Instead of a single, powerful diesel engine, the bus used two smaller GM 471 diesel engines running in tandem. Why? At the time, GM didn't have a single diesel engine that could meet Greyhound's power and reliability requirements for such a large vehicle. The solution was to pair two engines to work together, driving a single transmission. But this configuration quickly turned into a nightmare. Keeping two engines synchronized was mechanically complex and required more maintenance than expected. The engines would often fall out of sync, causing serious vibrations, power loss, and frequent breakdowns. Mechanics needed specialized training, and even then, roadside repairs were difficult. It became so problematic that Greyhound and GM eventually replaced the twin engines with a single Detroit diesel 8V71 engine in most of the fleet. But by then, the damage to the Scenicruiser's reputation had already been done. Fact 3. Structural problems plagued the early Scenicruiser. Beyond the twin-engine issue, the Scenicruiser had structural weaknesses. The early models suffered from frame cracking and body flex, especially when driving over rough roads or handling heavy passenger loads. The Scenicruiser's unique two-level design, with the upper deck extending over the driver, placed unusual stresses on the frame. Over time, cracks developed around the wheel wells and other load-bearing points. Greyhound eventually worked with GM to reinforce the frames and correct these issues in later versions. But the early failures had already raised serious concerns about safety and durability. For a company that prided itself on reliable coast-to-coast service, the Scenicruiser's early track record was a bitter pill to swallow. Fact 4. Despite its problems, the Scenicruiser became a cultural icon. Here's where the story gets more complex. Even with its engineering issues, the Scenicruiser became one of the most recognizable vehicles in America. It was the public face of Greyhound's Go Greyhound and Leave the Driving to Us campaign, which emphasized affordable, comfortable, long-distance travel. The Scenicruiser was elegant, with a tall profile, large windows, and an unmistakable silver and blue livery. People associated it with adventure, freedom, and the open road. For many Americans, riding the Scenicruiser was a memorable part of travel in the 1950s and 1960s. Despite its mechanical challenges, the bus did exactly what Greyhound wanted in one way. It made them stand out.
In fact, Greyhound operated the Scenicruiser fleet for decades, long after the initial problems were resolved.
The real legacy of the Scenicruiser. So, was the 1954-56 Greyhound Scenicruiser a disaster? In some ways, yes. The twin-engine design was a costly mistake. The early structural issues damaged Greyhound's reputation, and the maintenance problems made life hard for the drivers and mechanics who kept them on the road. But the Scenicruiser was also an icon, a symbol of post-war ambition, the freedom of the American highways, and the golden age of bus travel. Its failures taught the industry valuable lessons, and its bold design set the standard for what highway travel could look like. The truth is, the Scenicruiser story is not one of simple failure. It's a story of ambition, risk, innovation, and ultimately, a legacy that shaped the future of American transportation. And that's something worth remembering.